We've gathered a team of Australia's design industry leaders at M&C Saatchi in Sydney in the Tricky Jigsaw Labs to judge the top design innovations in Australia for the year. It's a great bunch of people we've got in the room, and they come across the sector from design and innovation and entrepreneurship. So they understand how products get made, how they get designed, and also what appeals, what makes us, what triggers us as humans pick up and want these things. What is it about the look and the feel and the touch that makes a product a success? A creative update to the electric guitar had Peter Friedman of Rode Microphones buzzing.
I really believe the Fusion guys are onto something special with this. A beautiful guitar, an amplifier, everything to do modelling, and all updatable with the effects on an Apple iPhone. You can't get better than that.
Well, this is the world's first fully portable electric guitar. You notice there's no cables, there's no amplifier. Everything's built in. You have an amp volume control here for an inbuilt amplifier, and we have speakers up here. And the really special bit, there's an iPhone dock on the top. We have different docks for different phones, interchangeable. With the iOS app here, this is an amplifier simulation of a basement amp. So you have all your normal controls, you have any effects that you want to put in there. It's everything a busker needs. You just take the guitar along, switch it on, and away you go.
So, Sergey, there's a lot of work to get an idea right through to a finalised product. How did you get on board to work with that?
One thing was, it was very avant-garde in its styling. It was kind of out there. We changed the styling a little bit, made it a bit more user-friendly, a bit more approachable, a bit more like a traditional guitar. One of the first things that you do with the styling is it's great to have sketches on paper and on screen, but it's not until it really becomes a 3D type of a model that you get to feel for it. This is one of the very first ones, and you can see
the look and feel of how it's going to happen?
Absolutely.
Apps and technology aside, the question is this a good guitar to play? Gun for Hire Brett Kingman has played with James Rain, Tina Turner and Daryl Braithwaite. If there's anyone that knows if this guitar cuts it, it's this guy.
So much fun.
So what do you think, Brett?
I think it's an extremely clever marriage of traditional and new technology, and so it therefore deserves to be classed as a new instrument because it's got the speakers, which are really good, and a built-in amplifier. It's got standard old school outputs if you want to just run it into an amp. It feels really good. It's balanced well. You know, it's just good fun.
Technology is opening up a whole world of possibilities for existing products and giving them a new lease on life. But technology on its own is not enough. It takes innovators like those behind Fusion Guitar to really take those dreams and make them a reality.
To come up with something in irrigation that won't clog up, UV resistant, can't crush them, and then is relatively low cost, this is smart, and I can see them lasting for a long time.
As Aussies, we love our beautiful green lawns, but there is no love for the traditional sprinkler systems to keep them that way. They're a real pain to maintain. Now, there is a better way.
12 years ago, I moved to Perth. I got a house, I wanted a perfect lawn. Realised that normal sprinkler system just does not cut it. It has a lot of flaws in it. Main flaw being like this one, it gets stuck in the up position, or you always have to go in the mornings and slap it down, and then often gets stuck in the down position. If it's in the down position, it creates a soggy mess. If it's in the up position, your lawnmower often cuts the head off. You also have the big problem, people park on your lawn and they crash the system. This is my invention, it's called the Flex to Flow, like H2O. And it solves all the problems of a conventional pop-up sprinkler. As a car drives over, it just collapses and goes like that. No pressure is transferred to the piping below it, so the piping won't break. There are no moving parts. As you can see there, it is sealed, so it will never leak. If you push some air into there, you'll see the water simulated coming in there. It pops up like a normal sprinkler. And if I take the water pressure off again, it just drops back down again. I've got a little test for you. I'd like you to run over these traditional sprinklers and see what happens.
Oh my God!
Walty, this will never happen with my Flex to Flow. It just bounces right back. Even if you load it up with sand, and really get it in there. See what I mean?
Flex to Flow is a brilliant example of design as a process. This is not just a product, this is a solution.
Partnering with the Good Design Awards, our team of design industry leaders are judging Australia's top design innovations for the year.
At the heart of truly good design lies a problem that's been solved. And it's been solved with the user in mind. It's been solved with understanding what the human-centred problem is and solving it in a very clever and inventive way that's going to make a real impact on people's lives.
Our next innovation was designed by Peter Friedman's company, so he sits out of the discussion. It's a new tool in the evolution of entertainment, as Ben Cooper of Tricky Jigsaw explains.
This is not an immersive 360-degree experience, but this is. We're moving into a world of AR and VR, and it's all about getting closer to the experience. The thing is, if the sound's not right, it's not going to point you in the right direction. So this is how you're going to control the narrative.
Ever sat in the cinema and heard that surround sound chopper fly over? It's a real 3D effect. Imagine if you could do that yourself. Let's play with sound.
So you're holding in your hands the Rode's VideoMic Pro Plus, and what I've got here is the Stereo VideoMic Pro. Now, together these two microphones cover a lot of the applications, but they don't cover surround sound applications. So what we're looking at is how can we combine both of these microphones in one, but how do we also add that surround capability to the microphone as well?
And so, is that what we're seeing here?
Yeah, so what we've got here is the Rode VideoMic sound field. Now this microphone is designed to pick up everything around the microphone, but we can also endlessly shape the audio in post-production. We make all of our products right here in Sydney, Australia, and what that means is that we've got our machinery just metres away, and it means that we can be much more agile in our designing. This is the Rode anechoic chamber. An anechoic chamber is designed to cancel out all reflections that come out from a sound source without bouncing back.
So this is it?
This is it. This is the Rode VideoMic sound field.
She's tiny.
It is. It's a very compact setup for what this microphone does.
And so what are we seeing? There's microphones going 4 different ways.
So this is called a tetrahedral capsule array.
So now we need to test it. I've got an idea. Run to the city of refuge, you better run, run, run. Run to the city of refuge, you better run.
With our software here, I can actually change the direction that you're listening to.
Oh, wow. The sound is moving around me.
Exactly.
I can see it.
So I can make it wider, I can make it more narrow, I can solo separate channels. So from this one microphone, I can create a 5.1 surround sound mix like you'd listen to in a home theatre. But where it really gets cool is the future applications of VR and 360 video.
That's magic. Let's do some more. You are so beautiful.
There's many measures of innovation, but what I think is quite interesting with this one is that sausages were the measure. When you look at this barbecue, there's nothing radically different about it, and I think that's where the revolution lies. This is solar-powered, this is autonomous, and this is invisible innovation, and I think it's really exciting.
There's nothing we love more in Australia than having a barbecue on a hot, sunny day. What if I told you that we could use the sun to power a barbecue?
It's been about 20 years of blood, sweat and tears, but it's finally come to a fruition. This is actually a power station. There's enough power in here to run a small house. With solar on the roof, the battery storage, we could have lighting in the shelter and we could run park lighting. All of that could be run off this one power plant.
But it doesn't feel like a solar structure. The solar panels are all hidden. Again, it just feels like any other park barbecue.
We design it that way just to prevent vandalism. If people can't see it, they're not going to steal it. We looked at electric barbecues as to how much power they actually used. It was horrendous, impossible to do with solar. So we totally redesigned the plate using battery voltages instead of mains power. It would cost in the vicinity of $150,000 to get power.
Just to run power here?
Just to run power.
So the installation of this is a fraction of the cost?
Oh, the whole building, everything is a fraction of the whole car, whole thing here wouldn't cost that.
This is actually the barbecue heating element. Now, the key difference is that we use a continuous piece of nickel chrome wire, which means that we do not have to insulate the element. So if you've ever seen something like your toaster, where you basically look inside.
Turns on straight away,
It turns
right?
on immediately. It gets red hot.
And does it get hot enough to cook a nice steak?
Let loose, it'll run at over 400 degrees centigrade. I've got to cut that back to 320, otherwise we'd be charring people's food and sausages for sure.
This is something you really have to see to believe. It ticks every box for good design. It's safe, it's simple, and it's sustainable. Forget that old saying, cooking with gas. This is cooking with sunshine.
Our team of design industry leaders are judging the best design innovations in Australia for the year. Leading the judging is Dr. Brandon Guillen from the Good Design Awards and Terry Winter from Top 3 ByDesign.
Design and innovation's more about the products and the projects that exist right now. I think quite often really great design is about stretching the imagination and making us think about what really could be possible.
This advancement in security captured the imagination of Edward Currie of Form Designs.
The aesthetic is amazing, nice to feel, nice to own kind of product. I think it is something that these guys can be proud of.
Okay, I'm a gadget girl, I admit it, and I love to travel. This next innovation is an excellent example of design and technology combining to enhance our everyday lives. Kabir, hi.
Hi.
So here we are, the Airboat.
Yes, it's the world's first Bluetooth smart travel lock. 3 years ago, when the idea came up, we hired a bunch of designers and we ended up with this. It's just very traditional. It wasn't exciting enough for me at all. So that got us thinking, how could we inspire our designers to create something that's completely new but still had that sense of familiarity? And we decided that we'd run a competition. As you can see, it's completely different there. You know, you see the use of the lights that really accentuate its features. And look at these.
Oh, wow, I love that.
I used this to inspire our design team. And from there, we ended up with the design that we have today. So here's our prototype. We use this to test the functionality and the internal mechanism.
It's a lot larger than what you ended up with.
Exactly, we call it the brick. So we had to then work on actually shrinking it down because you could never use that, right? And you had to keep it simple at the same time without overcomplicating it. So let me show you on your phone.
Perfect.
So all you do is go to the store, download the app, and just follow the prompts. It's really simple. It shows you how to add it. So let me just do this here for you. I'll add the red one. And yeah, that's it, you're paired.
So for someone not techie, this is really straightforward.
Exactly, and that's what we worked really hard on doing.
So you've dragged the traditional padlock into the 21st century.
Exactly, and with that, it brings a whole heap of cool features. You never have to worry about keys or combinations again. Quite away from your bag now, right? So let me just show you something. Just imagine that you didn't know where it was. And you panic, you know, you're thinking it's lost. So what you can do is all you do is click Find on the app and you can see where it was last seen.
Hey, that's great. I see it in the cafe around the corner. So no more lost bags.
Yep, it's stress-free.
I've had personal experience with putting dishes in and taking dishes out. Bending down is a chore. These guys have done an amazing job lifting it up right to where you need to be so that it actually works well.
Our homes are changing, and so is almost everything in them.
At Electrolux, we really like to design for the user experience. You've got so many different elements that come together. Some people like to prepare, everybody loves to eat, but nobody really likes to do the dishes. Design is about finding solutions for the pain points. And once you've designed a solution for a pain point, it becomes an aha moment for people when they're actually using their kitchen.
So you're telling me a dishwasher can have an aha moment?
Absolutely. Comfort Lift is the first dishwasher to raise the lower basket to waist height.
That's
whether
magic.
it's empty or 15 kilos. Human touch design is about being adaptable and intuitive. The light grey is the static. The dark grey is movable.
For your odd size objects?
Absolutely. And the blue is saying, I can do something for you.
Oh, that's lovely. So then, how do we close it, Monica? Like every Australian?
Most innovation in this area in dishwashers is really focused on the plates or the objects. The Comfort Lift is squarely looking at what it's like for a consumer to use the product. Really key to that is getting the right behaviours and the right feeling so that the consumer can trust it and get the best out of it. If you get the tension wrong, it can just about flick a plate across the room. We did a lot of work on the lock here, and the idea is that basically you can sit it there, unload the dishwasher, and then you release it and it just drops away back to where it came from. So you don't actually have to lower it down yourself.
It powers itself.
And that's how you really get that feeling of quality that the consumers are looking for and trust.
Innovation doesn't need to be radical to move us forward, and design often brings good ideas together to lift our expectations. Our select group of design industry leaders are judging the best design innovations in Australia for the year. Sam Lanyon of Planet Innovation admired this device, designed to help us all breathe a little easier.
We all spend a huge amount of time at home, and air quality is important. And what VBreathe does is it brings a bunch of technologies and put it into an extremely beautiful package. And they've got a unique technology that not only filters the air, but also treats the air to remove the nasties. In places like India and China, where air pollution is a really big problem, I can imagine this product doing extremely well.
It's hard to believe 9 million people die prematurely every year thanks to bad air and pollution. So how can a gel change that?
We wanted to create something that can actually really help people, not only give them good aroma in the house, but actually help them living a healthy life. It reduces the amount of harmful bacteria and such as mold particles. It repels mosquitoes and flies. We actually took this gel in Southeastern Asia, and we took it to India, we took it to China, and we tested in an environment where we thought that if it'll work there, it'll work anywhere in the world.
It's a pretty extreme environment.
Exactly. So after we did the testing in India, I wanted to take it global.
So that was just for the gel, right?
No. It was a much bigger idea. So this is a big idea. This is VBreathe.
Hello, VBreathe. So where does the gel go?
The gel goes on the top of the device, so you can just drop it in, very easy.
What's the colour telling me?
So the colour is telling you the air quality around you. So if the air quality is bad, it'll go red.
This is looking good.
This is looking very good. It connects with your phone. So when the air quality goes bad, it'll give you a notification on your phone. So you can connect up to 10 devices onto one account.
So that means I'm at the home, I can control the office.
Yeah.
If I'm here, I can look after my grandmother's air quality in the home.
The best part is it's portable. So you can take it wherever you go.
So you can see here we've got air holes at the bottom, so the air passes through these holes and through this cylindrical filter. This fan is then blowing it up and out the top of the device. As it goes out the top, it's passing through this gel container area and taking the gel out with it. We had to do quite a lot of testing on this to make sure that the filters are working correctly and that it's monitoring the air quality correctly. So I've just got a cigarette here that's been lit for me. And if I hold it over these holes here, this is where the inlet is for sensing the air. You should see that the light band starts to change to red and then to pink, which is the worst air quality. I don't recommend smoking. This is just for demonstration purposes.
So I'm Swedish, and it's different houses here. They are more damp and more drafty, and I think this gel is brilliant because it really helps the rooms to get the smell disappears.
So why is it important with little Hugo here to get rid of the mould?
Just because kids are playing on the floor all the time. But now with VBreathe, it will be brilliant because you just pop it in and it will flow out in the room. So I'm really excited about it.
No one likes going to the dentist, and especially for long periods of time and invasive surgery. The Jaw Pro is for the patient and also the dental practitioner, and it makes what is a really uncomfortable event much more comfortable.
So many innovations stem from identifying a need. But ideas are one thing, taking action is another. Not content with being a bystander, these visionaries are stepping up to the plate and they're creating solutions. So Jordan, you're a physiotherapist, yet you've come up with a product that's actually assisting the dental industry.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and most people are quite surprised. They would have thought a dentist would have come up with this. However, after seeing so many patients like Margie here who've come in after a long procedure with jaw pain, I thought, why not try and do something about this and fill that void? So lots of stress goes through the joint, up through here, rather than taking it throughout the whole chin. So that causes stress and impingement and inflammation and results them coming to the physio 10 times in 1 week, you know, which isn't financially very successful venture. So what I've devised is a product here which fits around the patient's neck like so, and just clicks up into the position that you want, so very easy to put on. And as you can see, it gently cusps the bottom of the chin here. So when the dentist is forcing their drills and pliers down into the teeth, rather than all the force going up here through the joint and the muscles having to contract to resist that, the force is put through the bottom here, through the chest, which is a nice strong area. It's been a great collaboration of amazing people, and hopefully this is going to help a lot of people around the world.
Well, I find it quite helpful because we come across patients complaining of jaw pain after the dental procedures.
And how's that feeling?
It was very comfortable, and my muscles are very relaxed.
I really love the fact that JawPro is the result of one industry identifying a need in another industry. It is so great to see that cross-pollination resulting in a benefit for all.
So ultimately it's about good design. The question is, how do we choose the 2 to go through to the top 10? After much discussion, the judges have chosen from this episode Green Plate and the Rode Video Mic Sound Field. Next episode, more design innovations as we head for the final countdown of the top 10 innovations in Australia for the year. For more information, go to australiabydesign.com.au.